right, so get this. Today we're diving deep, like really deep into Neville Goddard.
Oh, yeah, Neville.
Yeah. Specifically, how to manifest love and marriage.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Who doesn't want a little more love?
Exactly. Using his law of assumption, right?
Yeah.
The whole idea that thoughts can shape reality.
It's pretty powerful stuff. I think what's so interesting about Neville's work is how he kind of flips the script. Like, instead of just waiting around for love, passively, he says you can actually create it. Like, you have the power.
It's a little intimidating, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I mean, suddenly we're responsible for our own love lives. But, I mean, where do we even begin?
Well, one of the key things is that your outer world, it's just a reflection of your inner world.
Right. That's what he says, yeah.
It's all about cultivating that inner state that, kind of naturally attracts love. Like, if you don't believe you're worthy of love, how can you expect to find a partner who sees your worth?
Makes sense. So it's like we're constantly sending out this signal, and that signal is based on how we see ourselves. Okay. But how do we change the signal if it's, like, totally wrong?
That's where Neville's concept of imaginal acts comes in.
Okay.
He says we can actually reprogram our subconscious.
Oh, wow.
By vividly imagining and feeling the reality we want. So imagine, like, wearing a wedding ring or celebrating an anniversary. And don't just see it, feel it. Like, really feel the joy, the love, the sense of belonging.
Okay, so I've tried visualizing before, but I've always been a little,
mystical.
Yeah, a little. Like, can simply imagining something actually make it happen?
Well, it's more than just wishful thinking, right?
Right.
Neuroscience is now showing that the brain doesn't always differentiate between imagined and real experiences.
Really?
Yeah. So when you consistently engage in those really vivid, emotionally charged visualizations, you're basically training your subconscious to accept that new reality.
Huh. So it's like planting a seed in our mind. And then we, like, nurture it with our imagination.
Exactly.
I like that. But, like, a seed needs the right conditions,
Right.
So what's the fertile ground for these imaginal acts?
It's your self-concept.
Ah, okay, right.
So it's kind of a chicken and egg thing. We need to believe we're worthy of love to attract it. But what if we don't have that belief to begin with?
Right. How do we break out of that?
Well, Neville believed that true love starts from within. You can't rely on a partner to, like, complete you,
Fill the void.
Exactly. You have to cultivate that sense of wholeness, self-love. Think of it as like preparing yourself to be the perfect partner for someone else.
Okay, yeah.
Not just searching for someone to be perfect for you.
So instead of frantically searching for the one, we should be focusing on, like, becoming the kind of person who naturally attracts them.
Precisely. And that shift in focus, that changes everything. It's about realizing that you are already worthy of love and then, showing those qualities that reflect that.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
Like, think about the kind of partner you want, right? Are they kind, attentive? Start embodying those qualities yourself, not to, like, manipulate anyone, but because those are the qualities you genuinely want to embody.
So we've got this foundation of self-love. Now, how do we take those imaginal acts and apply them specifically to manifesting marriage?
Well, it's about consistently impressing on your subconscious mind, like the feeling of being in that loving partnership, a committed one.
Okay.
Imagine walking hand in hand with your spouse, celebrating your anniversary, or just those, simple everyday moments of married life.
Okay, I'm starting to get it, but, my practical side is, like, kicking in here. Do I still need to actually date? Put myself out there.
That's where it gets interesting. Neville didn't really focus on the how or when.
Right.
He believed that once you really believe in the outcome,
the
universe will conspire to make it happen.
It's more about, like, aligning our energy and trusting that the right opportunities will show up.
Exactly. Think of it like setting a destination in your GPS.
Yeah.
You don't have to, like, micromanage every turn or worry about traffic. Just trust that the GPS will get you there, even if there are some, detours along the way.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
It takes the pressure off, right?
It does, yeah. But even with the best GPS, you can still get stuck in traffic.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we're bound to encounter some roadblocks on the way to, manifesting love.
Definitely.
Like doubts and negative thoughts.
Absolutely.
I could definitely see those popping up.
Oh, yeah. Doubts are natural. Especially when we're trying to manifest something as big as love and marriage.
Right.
So how do we deal with those doubts? That little voice in your head saying, this is all too good to be true.
Neville actually talked about this, didn't he?
He did. He said, persist in the assumption that you are already that which you want to be.
Yes.
For in that persistence, you will harden it into fact.
It's powerful.
Yeah.
It's about choosing to believe even when it feels like impossible.
Yeah.
And sometimes that means like acknowledging the doubts, but not letting them, control everything.
Right.
It's a conscious choice then.
Yeah.
To focus on the positive, to affirm our belief, even if like the outside world seems to contradict it.
Yeah, and that's where detachment comes in. Neville talked a lot about detaching from the how and the when. It's not about like obsessing over every little detail or forcing things to happen, on our own timeline. It's about surrendering to the process, trusting that the universe, has a plan.
This is fascinating stuff. But it feels like we're just scratching the surface.
Yeah.
Neville's work, especially on the spiritual side of love, it goes so much deeper.
It does. That's where things get really interesting.
We've explored how to align our inner and outer worlds, but there's this whole other layer, understanding love as this spiritual force, this force that goes beyond the romantic.
Absolutely.
And that's what we'll delve into next.
Can't wait. When we really dig into Neville's views on love and marriage, it's not just about finding a partner. He saw it as like this reflection of something bigger, a union, where imagination and belief come together.
Right.
Two people co-creating a new reality together.
It's beautiful when you put it like that. So we're not just manifesting a person, but a whole world together.
Right.
Shaped by our shared, beliefs and desires.
Exactly. And that world, that shared reality, it's built on, those thoughts, beliefs, assumptions. We hold individually and as a couple, like the combined energy, it amplifies that manifestation process.
That makes me think about shared dreams. Like when two people are aligned in their desires, it's this energy vortex drawing those desires into reality.
It is fascinating, right? It really challenges us to think about how we can consciously create that alignment, not just in romantic relationships, but in all areas of life.
What resonates with me the most is the empowerment it brings.
Oh, yeah.
Neville's teachings remind us that we're not just, passively waiting for fate. We're actively creating our reality, especially when it comes to love and relationship.
Absolutely. It takes the pressure off needing to find that perfect person.
Yeah.
It's more about becoming the right person, attracting someone who resonates with our true selves.
And that brings us to another fascinating part of Neville's work, that spiritual dimension of love.
Yes.
He saw love as the ultimate expression of divine unity, this force that connects us all.
It's powerful, right? He believed that by aligning with that feeling of unconditional love, not just romantic love, but love for ourselves, love for others, for life itself, we tap into our highest creative potential.
Wait, so love is like this ultimate creative energy source. That's kind of mind-blowing. Can you unpack that a bit more?
Think of it this way. Love is the energy that binds everything together, the force that brings life into being. When we cultivate love within ourselves, we're not just attracting a partner. We're tapping into this universal creative power.
So manifesting love, it becomes more than just finding a partner. It's like a journey of self-discovery, aligning with our true nature, which is love itself.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that love is not something we find out there.
Right.
It's something we cultivate within. And as we radiate that love outward, it naturally attracts more love into our lives, including romantic love.
Okay, I'm starting to see how Neville's teachings can transform not just our love lives, but our entire outlook on life.
And that transformative power comes from understanding that we are love. And by embracing that truth, we can create anything we desire.
So to recap, we've talked about the law of assumption, the power of imagination, self-concept, the significance of marriage as like this creative union, and the spiritual side of love as this ultimate creative force. We've covered a lot, but where do we go from here? How can we put these principles into action?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
And that's where the rubber meets the road. We've got the foundation, with Neville's core principles. But now it's time to explore some techniques and practices that can help you manifest the love you desire.
Yes. Our listeners are probably eager to hear some practical tips. I'm ready to dive into the how-to part of all this. Right, so let's get practical. We've explored the ideas, but now I'm ready for some, actionable steps. What can our listeners actually do to start manifesting love and marriage using Neville's teachings?
Well, Neville talked about this technique called the state akin to sleep. It's about accessing that, dreamy state right before you fall asleep, where your subconscious is most receptive.
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
How do we use it to, actually manifest stuff.
So find a quiet spot, relax, lie down, get comfy, whatever works, and consciously relax your body, like each muscle group, letting go of any tension.
It sounds kind of like meditation.
It is similar, yeah. As you relax your body, shift your focus to your desired state. In this case, being happily married.
Okay.
Imagine a scene that implies you're already living it, It could be waking up next to your partner or like celebrating an anniversary. But don't just see it, feel it.
Oh, okay. Feel the joy, the love, the contentment.
So the emotions are key.
Absolutely. They make it real for your subconscious. Really immerse yourself in those feelings. Allow yourself to experience the happiness of being in that loving relationship.
How long should we do this for?
Neville recommended a few minutes each night before bed, but the key is consistency. It's like working out a muscle, right? The more you do it, the stronger it gets, and the stronger your belief, the more likely it is to, manifest.
So the state akin to sleep is one technique. Did Neville have any other methods for, like, reshaping reality?
He also talked about revision, which is basically rewriting past experiences to create a better present.
Wait, are we talking about, like, literally changing the past?
Not like time travel or anything, but remember, Neville believed our reality is constantly being shaped by our thoughts and beliefs.
Okay, yeah.
So by revising our memories, like those past relationships, we can actually shift our current experiences.
Okay, but how does that work in practice? Let's say someone had a relationship, right? And it ended badly. Lots of hurt and resentment.
Yeah.
They could use revision to revisit those memories, rewrite them. Like, imagine it ending amicably, both people feeling grateful for the time they shared.
So it's about reframing those past experiences, like in a more positive light.
Exactly. Letting go of the baggage from the past so we can create space for a new future. And by changing our perception of the past, we actually change our energy in the present, which then attracts new experiences that, match that higher vibration.
That's powerful. So we have the state akin to sleep. We've got revision. Any other techniques we can use to, like, make our dream love life a reality?
One of the most important things Neville emphasized was to live in the end. Don't get caught up in the how. Just focus on the feeling of already having it.
So it's like embodying the identity of someone who's already married, even if we're not there yet.
Exactly. Start acting, thinking, feeling as if you're already married. Cultivate love, compassion, partnership in your daily life.
Like setting the stage, right? Creating that internal environment for love and connection.
Exactly. And by doing that, you're aligning yourself with the energy of your desire, making it much more likely to manifest.
This has been such a great deep dive. We've explored Neville's philosophy and learned some pretty cool techniques to, put it all into practice. What's the most important thing for our listeners to remember?
For me, it's that we have the power to shape our reality,
Right.
Through our imagination, beliefs, and self-love. Love isn't something outside of us. It's a force inside each of us.
And that leads me to my final thought for everyone listening. Neville believed that love is the ultimate creative force. So what incredible things could you create, not just in love, but in all areas of your life, if you embraced that power?
That's a great question for our listeners to consider.
Keep exploring, keep imagining, and keep believing in your power to create the life you want, the love you want. Until next time, keep diving deep.